spinning is here. Still spinning. Still spinning. Still spinning. Still spinning.
Let's light the candle on episode 104 of the Still Spinning podcast with Dan and Nicole. I am Dan. That is Nicole. Yes. And we are here for your visual and audio pleasures.
Wow. Okay. Speaking of, Dan was making some very graphic hand signals during that intro.
No, I was. That was certainly not very. That was not very graphic. I mean,
I said hand signals. It's not like, you know.
You were the one miming everything. That was the thing. You were like,
but I wasn't going to mime that
Did you
part.
ever stop? You were doing the whole thing. And then I said, Dan,
do it.
And you wonder if Nicole and Dan would ever do it. And for the do it, I just did the
do it
international symbol for do it.
And then my eyeballs fell out of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's only fair to tell everyone that Dan got the true joy of Chicago traffic on Thursday. I walked like miles to the train stop because it was not, I was like, yeah, what else am I going to do? And I think I got home before you even passed my house, my exit.
So the thing is, for those of you who are not aware, the Kennedy Expressway, which runs through downtown Chicago,
AKA 9094.
Yep. Yeah, right. Because where it splits into 90 and 94, it gets better after that. Well, it gets better if you're going to Wisconsin. I don't know about if you're heading towards O'Hare. I'm guessing it still probably blows.
Depends.
But anyway, so I'm telling you, I was right downtown Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people go, oh, downtown Chicago, and they didn't go downtown Chicago.
No,
they
go
like
to Deerfield or
something.
something.
Right, exactly. No, I'm literally smack dab in the heart, Madison Street. Like I am downtown, as downtown as you can be in Chicago. And side note, I had rented a cargo van. I rented a cargo van because I had a lot of equipment to take for this particular show. And I get to the rental place and they don't have a cargo van.
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, the best I can do for you is a 15-foot box truck.
Talk about overkill.
It's beyond overkill. I sent a picture. Well, you saw it because you loaded. Yeah. No. Well, if you want to show it, you can.
Okay.
I used 1/8 of that damn truck.
Oh,
if 1/16 maybe.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous amount. Apparently, I didn't download the picture.
Yeah, it was overkill. And I will say the funny part is when I told the guy,
here's a picture of this is fully loaded.
That's full. That's everything.
Full. That's everything Dan needed to move.
Yeah, that's everything. And I was in a 15-foot box truck.
I laughed so hard. In
downtown Chicago. Yeah. And side note, when I told the guy, I'm like, I said, oh man, I said, the problem is I reserved a cargo van because I said anywhere else, that would be okay. But I need to, I'm like, I'm going to Chicago. I can't have this. If I were going to like Cedar Rapids, Iowa or someplace else, I could just park this thing. I don't care. But I'm like, that's not, he's like, and I said, that's why I reserved the cargo van. And he looks at me and goes, we know how to take the reservation. The Seinfeld. Are you familiar with this scene from Seinfeld?
I don't think so.
It's one of the classic scenes from Seinfeld, but I have a reservation. But I made it, but you know how to, I know you have a reservation. No, wait, how is the line? I can't remember the whole scene, but basically it gets down to, no, I don't, but I had a reservation. Well, I'm sure, I know you did, sir. I don't think you do because you know how to take the reservation.
It's the fulfilling.
But you don't know how to hold the reservation. And actually holding the reservation is the most important part of the reservation. And so, but the guy started to do the line. He's like, well, you know how to take the reservation.
Well, at least you had a sense
and
of
I'm
humor.
like, well, that's funny. I want to, this guy's driving me nuts right now, but it's funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So, and then drove that down. And when you're driving a giant box truck, I will tell you this, there's a little more zen to it than you would imagine.
Really?
Yeah, because I can't do anything. I have no choices. I'm sitting in the lane where I'm going to sit. because I can't.
There's no weaving.
No, I can't go, oh, that lane's going to go faster. Let me get over there. Or there's no zipping around anybody. There's no, let me scoot in here. There is nothing. You just basically got to sit there and take it. Whatever the rest of the traffic dishes out, you just have to take. So like I said, there's something a little zen about that. Cause you're like, well, okay, it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, it took me 3 hours to get home, which should take me an hour. And it should take me about an hour and 20 minutes. And there were points where we were sitting, not moving 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, just not moving. Not that we were inching slowly. I mean, foot did not come off the brake in like 5 or 10 minutes.
I did try to emphasize how terrible the regular lanes were. And Dan did try to get in the express lane.
Which you can't. If you're in a box truck, you can't because.
Oh, really?
Well, nobody will you just can't get over to it.
Yeah.
Everybody. Where I got on, everybody is trying to get over to the express
because
lane.
you couldn't get on the like good spot, right? Because it was closed.
Yeah, I couldn't get on in Madison, so I had to go down. But the whole point is, it doesn't even matter if I gotten on at Madison. You can't get on the express lanes because everybody is trying to get on the express lane. So you
couldn't get over.
There's no way you could have gotten over.
Yeah.
If you got on at Madison, I don't know,
but you did get to see some justice, some road justice.
Oh, that was beautiful. Some guy. So this was great. So again, Kennedy is usually 5 lanes. It's down to 2 lanes, right? Yeah,
correct.
2 lanes, which just sounds so stupid. But some guy decided I ain't waiting in this thing anymore, and he peeled out and drove into basically what is the construction area. It's it's all dusty and dirty and crap over there, and he's like just zipping along. And half of me's like, good for him, because that, this is so stupid. And the other half of me's like, yeah, but we all would like to do that, but we can't.
Right.
Because there's rules here, man. This isn't Nam. There are rules here, man. And so I don't know. I would like to say it probably was. It was probably a quarter mile later. So about a half hour later, I got up to where this car was. And this car, apparently they had cut like a 3-foot by 3-foot section of cement out because it's in a construction zone. And this car was still smoking. The airbags had gone off. This car went into that,
Good.
Yeah, right. So I guarantee you everybody that passed that for the next, half hour was like, yeah, there you go. Nobody's pulling over to help the guy. Everybody's like flipping him off. That's what you get.
F that guy. Yeah. I'm sorry, but F that guy.
100%. Yep. Yeah. All right. So let's start with this story.
Okay.
By the way, welcome everybody. Feel free to comment in the comment section. We got that thing wide open for you. We do like it. Remember our podcast. If you're just watching this video and you can't catch the whole thing or something like that, you can go to our website, stillspinningpodcast.com. And you can sign up for getting our podcast every Wednesday is when it's released. And it's this, so you'll hear the same thing. But just in case you don't catch it all, sign up for the podcast and subscribe to it anyway. That way you can hear the whole thing in case you don't watch us on Facebook. And there was one other thing I want to tell you along those lines. Oh, we have YouTube again.
Oh, we do?
Yes, our YouTube channel is still spinning.
Still spinning.
Yes, because Still Spinning, our YouTube channel, went away because some idiot
named Dan.
Yeah, decided to cancel our Google account, not realizing that was going to yank I just wanted our Gmail and stuff to go away. I didn't need the whole thing and the Google Drive and stuff. But apparently that took everything with it. So if you want to watch on YouTube, you can. In fact, you could be the first subscriber. Because I don't think anybody knows about it yet. But we air live there.
Still Spinning podcast.
Still Spinning. Still Spinning podcast is where we are on the YouTubes. Awesome. All right. I'm just going to add this to the list of things that Gen Z is pissing everybody off with, which is everything. Long list. It is a long list.
Long list.
Apparently bartenders, Zoomers are what they're calling Gen Z now.
We're calling Zoomers. Gen Z Zoomers?
Zoomers are baby Zoomers.
Interesting.
Now I love it. Okay, Zoomer.
Yeah, right? Because boomer isn't necessarily like a compliment.
So it was a compliment.
But now, when a Zoomer says it, it isn't.
Yeah, but now we can call them Zoomers. So now we got a word back. Yeah,
I like that.
Whatever, boomer. Shut up, Zoomer.
Yeah.
Zoomers are purportedly adverse to opening bar tabs. And what that means is it's pissing off bartenders all across the country. This is a big problem because bartenders would rather you just come in, start a tab at the end of the night when you leave, pay. Zoomers don't want to do that. they want to just pay per their drink at a time. So they basically open a tab, pay for it, walk away, and they don't want to run a tab, which is driving bartenders across the country nuts.
Because it's not like they're just buying that one round, right?
They're coming back a few
going
times.
Up,
yeah, right.
And you have to watch. You have to like continuously open a new tab and close them out and get the credit card machine.
Yeah. And so they got to do it every time. And of course they pay with cards every time, right? So you got to do the
course.
card, and then you probably got to sign it, and then you got to do the tip. And then if they tip, I don't know what the Zoomers are doing for that. But everywhere they work, they demand a tip. So you would think that when they go somewhere, they would pay a good tip. But yeah, so anyway, this is just kind of a interesting story I read here. This one happens to be in the New York Post, but it is talking about how, and the problem is that the other big problem is that it's because they don't want to drink as much.
Yeah.
They don't plan to go out and get plastered the way good old
Gen
baby
X
boomers
does.
used to. And Gen X is
Yeah.
like, look, I write my name in my underwear in case somebody finds me. Right? I mean,
My ice is set. My in case of emergency,
right.
is set in my phone, so people know. Maybe your significant other's tracking you just in case.
Yeah, exactly. Just intentionally, you want them to, just in case.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, that's but anyway, I just thought I would share the story. And so the next time you go to a bar, watch it. They don't drink as much. A lot of them aren't drinking. They want to go up and just, order now, as somebody who generally doesn't order a drink at a bar, on occasion, I will order like a bourbon or something like that. But for the most part, I'm just a soda and water. But I'm with other people that are drinking. I'm not going to go with a whole group of people who aren't going to drink. But there are clubs that don't eat. That's non-alcoholic clubs.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's a big thing.
It's a big movement, and even so, two things. One, different types of drinks are now becoming popular that do not contain alcohol. So, for example, in Chicago, THC is legal, which is marijuana. The bars have THC drinks. They have drinks that have THC in them. So you can get those. There's also so many more options for non-alcoholic, non-alcoholic beers and, mocktails and all of that sort of thing. It's become a much bigger movement than we've ever seen in the past. And it's funny you brought this up because we were at the theater. So the theater I perform at has a very large bar. And this very large bar used to be very crowded. And since pandemic times, it's just never come back that way. And a lot of it is that generation, the Z's, the people who went through college and things like that in the pandemic just don't have the same social calendar, I guess is a word, as the rest of us. They're just not interested in staying out. We were the very last people, which is not shocking, but we were the very last people at 11:30. It wasn't
that is a little shocking.
I've been the last person at, it's 2:30 or 4, but 11:30 is pretty
You've been there
early.
when the bartender's like, hey.
Yeah, I mean, they did that too, but also because that crowd just no longer hangs out. And apparently the older crowd just doesn't go to this particular bar, which is fine. It's a younger crowd, but it is very interesting to see how different it is.
Anyway, so just add that to the list of the reason Gen Z is pissing off everybody. Hey, quick couple of comments here. Anne says, I am watching on YouTube, although that comment comes from Facebook.
Oh, that's interesting.
It should now. If you do comment on YouTube, it should show that the comment comes from YouTube. But maybe the comments are coming through. I don't know. I haven't had a good chance to work on this very well.
That's
but I mean,
okay.
so and
it's
then
working.
Paul says, yes, I hope that I am the first subscriber. Well, I'm guessing Ann is. I'm thinking Ann might be.
Ann might be, but maybe Ann was just watching and not subscribing.
That's right.
We're gonna find out.
Telling us she was watching. Although I don't think we'll know.
Well, I was gonna say, will it tell you who the first one was?
No.
No,
it's one of those two, and you know what? They can both live with that.
Yeah. Great. So I came across a story today, and I've now subsequently seen several stories about this, but this is the one that I want to talk about. Dad jumps overboard to save his daughter after she falls from fourth deck of Disney cruise ship.
Hero.
Hero. The incident took place on board the Disney Dream cruise ship on Sunday, June 29th. So this was on Sunday. A dad is being hailed as a hero for jumping into the ocean to save his daughter after she fell overboard off of a Disney cruise ship this weekend, according to officials and multiple news reports.
What a great guy.
I mean, the Disney Dream was returning to Fort Lauderdale, Florida on Sunday, June 29th, following a 4-night cruise in the Bahamas, and made a stop at Disney's Lookout Cay. I don't know why all these things were called Cay for some reason.
Key.
C-A-Y? That's pronounced Key?
Yeah.
Really?
Stupid. Yeah, like Key Largo. It just depends what country and how it's
I
spelled.
had no idea.
Yeah, like
Now
you see,
I
like,
know.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
I learned that from watching somebody who sails around the world on YouTube.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes it doesn't matter where you learn it. It was interesting. Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point when the incident took place. The crew aboard the Disney Dream swiftly rescued 2 guests from the water, Disney Cruise Line said in a statement. We commend our crew members for their exceptional skills and prompt actions, which ensured the safe return of both guests to the ship within minutes. According to the unofficial Disney Dream Cruise Facebook group, where passengers gathered to discuss their trips, the girl fell overboard from the 4th deck of the ship, and a man identified as her father jumped in after her. So they're just assuming that it was a father.
Well, but this is great. But this is wonderful. I mean, that's a long fall from the 4th floor, the 4th deck.
It's big. And having just gone on.
Holy crap, that is amazing. And so he just out of the, well, I mean, his dad. So the perspective, you have to have a protective instinct.
Correct.
Right? When your kid falls in like that.
And I'm reading this whole story for a reason.
Yeah.
Her dad went in after her, passenger Kevin Tura said. Right after the incident, we heard the loudspeaker, MOB, which means man overboard, port side. Thankfully, the Disney rescue team was in and on it immediately, and both were saved.
Also
All
heroes.
right.
Also heroes.
So we've got a good portion of the story, right?
Yeah.
A little girl fell overboard and her father jumped in to save her after he sat her on the railing. So he put his kid on the railing and she fell in. So he went in after her, but he's the hero? I don't think so.
He just didn't want to go to jail.
Of course. What kind?
And one may argue that he possibly still should.
And I didn't see how old this kid was. I don't think it matters. Why on earth would you ever put your child essentially 4 stories, if not more, I don't even know, like from where the water level was, on a railing, you effing moron. But I just thought it was so interesting that whole, like, how much of that story did I get to before that little nugget was thrown in there that was like, you can't be the hero if you're the cause, my friend.
Right. Yeah. You can't start a fire, put it out, and then take the credit and go like, look, the hero came and put the fire out.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. If you would just give me one quick second.
Oh, sure. Oh, no. Dan just froze. Oh, wait.
I'm sorry.
You froze, but now you're back.
Okay. I have to send a text message here.
Is it to me?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Is it just, I'm very curious now.
Well, I can't really tell you.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Because it's about this and it's something I just can't say
out loud.
And I have to text it to somebody. So I texted it to Paul.
Oh, okay.
So
Paul, don't put it in the chat.
If Paul says anything in the chat, it's all Paul. I don't know what it's probably not what I'm going to say.
Not related to what you just sent to him.
Don't put it in the chat, Paul.
Yeah. But I just could not, first off, the stupidity of doing that anyway, but the fact that they talk about burying the lead. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's a very important part of the whole story. And that is exactly that. Yeah, you can't be the cause and the hero at the same time.
Yep. So then, of course, they have video footage and people are I don't know if they have footage of her necessarily falling, but they do have footage of the rescue. And I cannot imagine how terrifying it was to just be on this boat in general. Having now been on a cruise ship, it gives you a whole different perspective of it.
I've never been, but I've seen them. I've seen the cruise ships, and even the first deck is still a pretty good drop.
Yeah, she's lucky she didn't. Well, and I mean, I guess I don't know how, what her physical state is. They're both alive, but the fact she didn't break her freaking neck, unbelievable.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Yep.
What
a time.
No tears in heaven this time because she survived. So that's good.
Dan.
That is good.
You'll diapered.
What? I said, thankfully, no tears in heaven.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
surprised I didn't hear Paul cackle from the other room.
So here's some good news for all you PC computer folks. The Microsoft blue screen of death is going away.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, your computer problems are not solved. It doesn't mean they're improving the computer and going, hey, you're not going to see that thing anymore. You're just literally not going to see it because they've decided to change the blue screen of death, which they've had different variations of since as long as I can remember, it would have 1990s, right? Like early 1990s. I mean, as long as I remember Mac, as long as I remember PCs, the blue screen of death. I used to hate it. In fact, I told people when I switched to Mac, I said, I don't see the blue screen anymore. And that makes me happy.
Do you know why? A, because they don't have it, but B, because it doesn't die.
Right. And remember, and last year they got hammered. Remember when they had that big outage? Like, was it who was the company? Was it CrowdStrike? That big outage
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what specific. We don't have
to remember because it didn't affect us.
Because we got a Mac, baby.
Anyway, it brought like most of the technology in the world. Remember that? All the offices,
yes,
every bill, like airlines, police departments, every hospitals, everybody, just the blue screen of death. Now, what is interesting is, so they're changing it, and they're just saying, well, it's time to change it. I think they're embarrassed by it because they're embarrassed. So you and I, Nicole, I talked about I was down in Chicago on Thursday of last week, and we were doing a trivia game. Yes. And one of the trivia questions was about this. It was the Microsoft is known for its blue screen of, and I think more people got that answer. That was like 99% of the room.
Oh yeah, most people knew that.
Everybody, one person, I think they just probably hit the wrong button on their phone. Like 1 or 2 people didn't get that. Everybody else in the room, we did that for probably 300 or 400 people. Yeah. And Microsoft was so associated with that. And people know the phrase blue screen of death, and it's associated with Microsoft. So I think that's why they're, you know what I mean? That's why they're changing it, just because it's so intertwined with Microsoft.
But the thing is, you can change it all you want. Everyone's still going to call whatever that replacement is
the black blue screen of death, the green screen of death, the yellow screen, whatever you change it to. It's still
going to be the screen of death. Do you know how many people that live in Chicago call it the Willis Tower? None.
Nobody.
Everyone calls it the Sears Tower because that's what it is.
Yeah.
That is what it's known as. That is what it will forever will be. So I think that's HBO Max. You still call it HBO, even though it's technically just Max, but now they're going back to HBO. I can't even keep track of that. Because it doesn't matter what it's called. People are going to call it what they want to call it.
Yep. And sometimes you just gotta lean into it, right? Just if that's your thing. I mean, Microsoft, if I'm Microsoft, I literally call it, you've reached the blue screen of death.
Yes. I think you have fun with it. If you have to, right? Like you have to make fun of it to make it more popular.
If it's happening on your computer, you're probably not happy with it.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's cute, Microsoft. Thank you, you sons of bitches.
One of the jobs I work at, I have to use a PC, and I cannot. I
can't even type on one of those keyboards anymore.
I hate it so much. It never works right. The updates are continuous. There's always a freaking update that has to be run, and then you've got to wait for it, and then it's thinking, and then it's asked you so many questions. Oh God, I hate it.
Well, this happens with Macs, with like the software on Macs, but it happens in the background,
right?
And it doesn't. It never says nope. You can't go on till you update, till you do this. Like it just happens, and then the next time you start your computer, it just loads the update in. Like it's just so much better. So much better.
It really is.
They are more expensive.
Yeah, but they also last and do a lot more. Yes. You know what I mean?
We were just talking about that at the trip, with the guy who runs the venue, the sound and tech guy there. He was like, "Yeah, I just had to get rid of my MacBook." Josh. I just had to get rid of my MacBook. It was what did he say? It was like a 2015 or something like that. Yeah,
it's not that old, but it's.
Well,
you know what? Actually, that is.
It's 10 years old, but he was still using it.
Honestly, do you ever see those memes that are like somebody said 20 years ago, and clearly they meant 1970?
Right.
Oh God, I know I bring it up a lot, but it boggles my mind because even when he was talking to us about that, I was like, oh yeah, that's not that old, but now that it's like 11 years old because I think 2014 was the one before. Oh,
it's old.
Night. It is old. It is old. So I am purging a lot of clothing right now. And there's this website where you can sell stuff, not like eBay, but it's called Poshmark. And you can buy clothes. And so like some of the nicer stuff that I have, I'm trying to recoup some of the losses, And one of the things that they offer is you can order the shipping boxes because shipping is part of it. You know, they'll send you the label as soon as it's sold and you just slap it on and go. So I went to USPS to just, you know, order some boxes. And I was shocked to see their boxes. You know, they have like the priority shipping large, priority shipping medium, blah, blah, blah. Cremation box. USPS has a very specific box
marked. It says human remains on it.
It says cremated remains on it. And it's a whole line. They have different kits. How many people are shipping cremated remains?
A lot.
This blows my mind.
Why?
This blows my mind. I would think if you have remains of something you loved, whether it's a pet or a person, the last thing you want to do, and maybe this is the Chicago in me, is risk it getting lost in the mail.
So, you know, people, like, there's a thing you can do now that you basically are sending your loved one's ashes away to be like compressed into like yard stones and
jewelry.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's, you know, there's a little bit of that, but I mean, funeral homes will, you know, like if somebody's not from an area, all the time they will cremate a body and then ship the remains. It's all the time.
I just had no idea that it was such a prevalent thing that they have their own, but it's like priority mail, express mail, and cremated remains.
Yeah.
Are like the three big categories on USPS. I had no idea.
Well, I think a lot of people don't like how many planes do you think you've been on that have a body on the plane? Most people don't realize that.
Sure. Probably more than I would guess, and I knew that because I worked for an airline. So
and there's a specific way and place that how you load like that, right? So like so you don't just like put it in there and then throw like luggage on, like, you know, lean this in the back.
There's protocol around it, but still it's on the plane.
It happens way more than anybody realizes, I think.
But see, that makes sense to me, right? Because you've got to move the body from one place to the other.
You got to move the remains sometimes from one place to another.
But I guess in my mind, you go to the funeral and somebody gets the remains. But I guess if you're splitting it up or, you know, whatever the case might be, it made me laugh really hard, first off. But then I got on with Dan before and I was like, Dan, can you believe? He's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, yeah.
All the time. Ask anybody who worked, like ask your next time you talk to your mail person, right? That's
your postal worker.
Your postal worker who brings the mail to your house. Ask them, any one of them that has a route that's on a funeral home will tell you that they like, it's not an uncommon thing to pick up several boxes of remains every day. Just like, you know, a computer place is shipping out like a computer tower. They're shipping out remains and it happens all the time. So.
Now I didn't even think of that.
Now I will say that I feel like it should be FedEx or UPS or something like DHL. I figure we should go to like the top of the shipping chain for that one.
And I love USPS. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But sometimes here in Chicago,
it's the Walmart of shipping.
It takes some time.
Yeah.
And it's so expensive now. It really is just. I used to ship things regularly to England to a friend of mine. Yeah. And I can't, like, a tiny, the smallest, like, priority box to ship that to England now is over $50. And it's like, well, that's not. So now I just order from Amazon UK and just send it directly to them.
Oh. Have you ever heard of, before I say this, I want to see if I get any credit for, like, sending people their way. Hold on a minute.
Oh, okay. Did you get like a
I don't know. Like, I got to see. I don't think so. Apparently
Dead Ship RS? Like what? What are you about to tell me about? I'm scared.
Okay, I don't see anything. I don't see any like
referral code.
Somebody signed up here. Have you ever heard of Pirate Ship?
I have not.
PIRA. All right, everyone. I just did you a huge favor. Pirateship.com. It's got a funny little pirate theme, like Yarr.
I do love a pirate theme.
Are ye a human or are ye a robot when you log in? That kind of stuff. I mean,
do they ask if you're a parrot?
No.
That's a missed opportunity.
Shipping rates insanely low, and you print them. You can print the labels right at your house. Print them and just put the. It's
What service does it use then?
So you put in the size of the box,
Mm-hmm.
the weight, the 3 dimensions, the weight, if you need any extra services, and it will pull up UPS, FedEx, and post office and tell you which one is the cheapest, which one is the fastest, how long. This will be 2 days UPS. If you want it 3 days UPS, it'll give you a whole list of them. And it's about 70% of the rate that you normally pay. They have a massive commercial rate. They have a massive commercial rate, and you can pay, it's like almost nothing. Like, for example, you're going to get something in the mail from me in the next couple of days, and I spent like $4 to send it to you. It's it's a small box, but it's,
Is it my shirt that never came?
Yes, it is. But yeah, so I mean, like, everybody, you're going to love me next time you go to ship something. It's pirateship.com.
I wrote it down.
I have no referral code to give you, but
I wish if ever it asks me, I will 100%.
Yeah, I don't think
say
it will.
Dan Dybert, Hip Trivia sent me.
They're giving away. It's such a low rate. I don't think they're going to hand out referrals. But pirateship.com. Everybody check it out. You're more than welcome. So
that's pretty awesome. Do they accept doubloons?
They should. Spanish.
They should.
Some Spanish. Yeah, some royal doubloons or some
booty.
What is it?
Booty in payment?
There's the word booty on there a couple of times.
Of
yeah.
If it wasn't,
yes.
Missed opportunity.
Save up to 89% off USPS and UPS rates with our free shipping software. Ann
uses
yeah,
it.
You know what? That makes
like.
sense.
That
Ann
makes
would.
Sense.
Totally Ann would. Yeah, for her shipping the cookies around. Yeah, Pirate Ship is amazing, she said.
And if you don't know, look up Sweet Ann's cookies. Amazing. Every time
keep a running list of like all the websites
like
we're
our
mentioning.
sponsors.
Yeah.
I will see like the newest pictures you post of the cookies, and I'm like, that can't be real. Like, how did you do that in icing? It's so impressive. Highly recommend. So if you're in the market, y'all, for some really cool, I guess sugar cookies is a way to describe it. Oh, Dan's doing a scroll right now of
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember
Ann's.
Hold on, let me see if I can look it up here.
Yeah.
Sweet Ann's.
I follow on Instagram, so I can.
Yeah,
see
I believe it
pictures.
is one. I believe it is. Oh, it's Facebook here. I see her on Facebook too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Look it up. Trust me. But good to know you're using the pirate ship. Oh, I just got it. Pirate ship. Doing great, everybody.
Just got that.
Well, because when you're like pirateship.com, and when you write it down, you're like, oh, it just all runs together. And then when Ann put it down, I'm like, oh yes, that's funny.
Yes,
that is funny.
There you go. All right.
Don't have to walk the plank or anything.
No, they do mention that too. They fully lean into that.
If you're gonna have a theme and a name like Pirate Ship,
yep,
you better lean into the theme.
Indeed.
You better. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been episode 104. I don't know if we mentioned that at the top, but this has been 104 episodes that we have been with you all. You can find out more at stillspinningpodcast.com. You can find some old content, but not very old because somebody erased it all. If you are interested in becoming
we're working on that.
Yeah, if you're interested in becoming a spinner, and once you become a spinner, you have access to all the old bonus content. That's still there.
All that is not gone. That is all still right there. Yes.
As a shortbread. Oh, even better than a sugar cookie is a shortbread cookie.
Oh,
I love shortbread.
You know who loves shortbread? Mama's little baby.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Wait, that's
absolutely
shortbread.
not. Nope. I'm going to cut you off right there. We are not going down whatever path this is.
Mama's
little
baby loves shortbread.
I know. Yes. Yeah. Stop.
Is that racist now too?
I don't know. That's why I'm trying to get you to stop.
I don't think it is, because that's
I
famous.
don't know. And again, why go down the path? Sweet Ann's, Ann, just put it here. There you go.
All right.
That's how you find Sweet Ann's cookies.
There you go. Changing the topic quickly.
Changing the topic totally.
All right.
Spinners, you will get some bonus content at the end of this week. Next week, Monday, we will not have a live episode. I will be out of town all of next week. Stay tuned for what that looks like for anyone else. Oh my gosh. All right. I actually didn't
mean to put. I actually meant to hide Ann's comment. I didn't mean to put the next comment up.
Yeah, well,
but there it was.
You didn't.
So.
What a time we've had, everyone. All right. Thank you so much for checking us out. We will see you in 2 weeks for the next live episode. Have a wonderful and safe holiday, everybody.
Still spinning.